Like, they're suing me for something I didn't do. It's just the most bullshit thing. And I literally had to pay them a lot of fucking...
Netflix has just slammed Jake Paul with a $100 million lawsuit. And it has nothing to do with a movie deal or a mispayment. It's because Jake backed out of what was supposed to be one of the biggest boxing events of the decade. Now, Jake Paul is in full panic mode as the empire he built begins to crack under massive pressure.
Paul Tank Davis fight has officially been canceled. It is off. It is not happening on November.
The Jake Paul versus Gervonta Tank Davis fight, scheduled for November 14th, was hyped beyond belief. Tickets sold out in hours. Pay-per-view sales were already smashing projections. Netflix invested millions to turn the event into a global spectacle. Then, out of nowhere, Jake canceled everything.
Fight that was supposed to go down with Jake Paul and Gervonta Tank Davis in Miami on November 14th is not happening. It has been canceled officially, and this comes, not too long after Gervonta Tank Davis was accused of assaulting a woman.
I heard that Gervonta Davis was being very difficult to work with, and Netflix was just waiting for it.
He didn't just walk away from a fight. He walked straight into a legal disaster. His reason? He claimed Gervonta Davis had a history of abusing women and said he couldn't promote someone accused of hurting women. Sounds noble, right?
And you support the most vile sin a man.
In a sport known for chaos and controversy, Jake looked like a man taking a moral stand. The media jumped on it. Fans split into sides, some praising him, others calling it a PR stunt. But behind all the press statements, something wasn't adding up. Tank's team fired back immediately. Because according to people close to the situation, the truth is both simpler and darker. Jake wasn't protecting women, he was protecting himself. For the first time in his career, Jake Paul was about to face a real world-class fighter, not an ex-basketball player, not a retired MMA veteran, but a man with 26 wins and 24 knockouts. Gervonta Tank Davis fights fast and brutally. This wasn't a YouTube event. This was a professional war.
This team is now fighting back.
And Jake knew what that meant. Sources inside his training camp say the bravado started cracking weeks before the fight. The always intense Jake suddenly looked stressed, canceled sparring sessions, sleepless nights, endless strategy meetings that felt more like escape planning than game planning. This wasn't confidence. IT was fear disguised behind a camera-ready smile.
Feared than he had ever been before a fight by facing Gervonta Davis.
So when old allegations against Tank resurfaced online, Jake saw his exit door with one statement. He could walk away without ever admitting fear. He called it a stand for women. Insiders call it damage control, a way to save his image while dodging a beating that could have ended his boxing career.
Lawsuit, and it's just allegations. It's not criminal, so there must be some.
But Netflix didn't care about the drama. They cared about their investment. They'd pour millions into marketing, production, global promotion, sponsorship deals, everything. Early projections estimated a $120 million event. They had advertisers locked in, venues secured, and a massive promotional engine running. And with one decision, Jake burned it all down.
Valuable Promotions and Netflix have announced that Jake Paul versus Gervonta Davis, originally scheduled for Friday, November 14th.
That's why Netflix came at him swinging. The lawsuit accuses Jake Paul of deliberately breaching his contract and causing massive financial damage in simple terms. They say he bailed out a real reason and cost him millions that if Netflix wins, Jake won't just lose money, he'll lose his reputation as a reliable, bankable draw in the entertainment world.
The more reality was getting to him, so he put an scapegoat plan in.
Fans aren't sparing him either. Social media is brutal right now, calling him a fake fighter, a coward, even the best runner in boxing. The man who built his brand on fearlessness is suddenly trending for fear, one user said. He talked all that I'm built different nonsense, then canceled when a real boxer showed up.
It calls into question everything that they've done to build that.
Even the boxing world is ripping into him. Promoters, fighters, commentators, all openly mocking him. Some say he just erased years of work trying to be taken seriously. One insider put it plainly. Jake wanted respect. But respect is earned in the ring, not through excuses.
So much time, effort, and energy, and it's like...
But it's also compound.
The craziest part, this was Jake's golden ticket to a win, or even a respectable performance. against Gervonta Davis could have changed everything. IT could have shut down critics, validated his career, and proved he wasn't just a YouTuber pretending to box. Instead, his reputation now hangs by a legal thread, and Netflix's lawyers are ready to pull it tight.
They said that they had an investigation, they looked into it, they feel comfortable moving on, and I think it was 100% the right call to move on. It is not the right look, it is not the right...
And the timing couldn't be worse. Jake's entire brand depends on being loud, bold, and fearless. The guy who says he's scared of no one, but now he's being portrayed as someone who used morality as a mask for fear, and that kind of stain doesn't come off easily.
Actual walking human piece of garbage. Working with him is an absolute nightmare. The unprofessionalism, the bizarre requests, the showing up hours late to shoots, the numerous arrests and related accusations and lawsuits.
Financially, it's a nightmare. Even if the case never goes to trial, Jake could still pay millions just to settle. His team is scrambling to limit the damage, but Netflix wants every dollar back, and they're not letting go. Instead of preparing for fight night, Jake is now preparing for court. This time, controversy might not save him.
Like, she should be fucking... She's in Hawaii on a fucking lawsuit phone call, and they're like, yo, your son has to pay this. Like, it just...
The fight that never happened is now becoming something far uglier. A legal war that could become the biggest loss of Jake Paul's career. NO ring, NO referee, NO way to fake a win.
Out of his own mouth over and over again, the fear was...
Netflix wasn't just streaming this fight. They were betting everything on it. This was supposed to be their crown jewel, their entry into billion-dollar boxing entertainment. Executives were celebrating projected Super Bowl level numbers. They even reinforced their servers to handle what one insider called the digital equivalent of a stampede. And then Jake canceled.
The only corporation or company that has paid people to beat women more. Yeah.
Just like that. Boom. Millions in promotion gone. AD campaigns frozen. Brand sponsors demanding refunds. Production shut down. The entire machine Netflix built collapsed like a house of cards. Executives panicked. Boardrooms erupted in blame. Sponsors scrambled to salvage their money. One insider called it utter chaos.
Gervonta Davis is an actual walking human piece of garbage. Working with him is an absolute nightmare. The unprofessionalism, the bizarre requests, the showing up hours late to shoots, to the numerous arrests and related accusations and lawsuits. If you support this man, you support the most vile sin.
For Netflix, this wasn't just money, it was credibility. They had just stepped into the sports world, and Jake Paul was their flashy golden investment. The risk that was supposed to pay off huge. Instead, he vanished on them like a bad Tinder date. Jake's team tried to stay calm, but lawyers told him the truth. This is not a fight you can run from. This is an influencer boxing. This is courtroom combat. And Netflix doesn't lose easily.